Hi guys, Alina Shaltsova, immigration attorney from New York, is here. In today's video, we're going to be discussing VAWA, or Violence Against Women Act, and I'm going to focus on some points that I find overlooked when you are doing your research online. So thank you very much for watching me. I'm a practicing attorney for almost 15 years. You can find me online at www.shaltsova.com or by calling my office at 917-885-2261 if you would like to consult with me, if you would like to see if I can help your case or just give you an evaluation. So now let's focus on VAWA, or Violence Against Women Act. Typically, a VAWA beneficiary would be someone who was married or is married to a US citizen or lawful permanent resident. However, it's also available, or VAWA is also available for parents of US citizens and children of US citizens and green card holders. It's very important to know that, because if you do have that abusive family member in the United States, you may want to check with an attorney to see if you can actually self-sponsor yourself. Now, one of the first things that you need to know if you're filing for VAWA is that you have to be legally married to the person. It's extremely important to know that. Sometimes you may be residing with a US citizen or green card holder and there is no marriage never took place, then VAWA most likely is not going to be available to you. You may qualify for a U visa if there was domestic abuse, but not VAWA. VAWA can be filed regardless of if that spouse of yours is sponsoring you as well or not. Extremely important to know that VAWA can be filed if I-130 or petition by your family member, your US citizen spouse, has been filed already, it's been denied in certain situations, or it's never been filed. Now let's go back to that requirement that you have to be married to a person. What if you married someone and you did not know that they are already married to someone else? Well, if your US citizen or lawful permanent resident spouse committed a bigamy, but you were not aware of that, you thought that you guys are getting married for real, and there was actually a marriage ceremony done, you may still self-sponsor yourself. Extremely important. What if you guys are going through divorce? Well, you don't have to be continuously married to your spouse. If you guys divorced, if that spouse passed away, or if that spouse, abusive spouse, lost their status, you may still self-sponsor yourself, provided that you're going to file your self-sponsorship within 2 years of the event, of the divorce, of the death, or when an order was issued by the judge depriving your abusive spouse of their status. Extremely important, again, to know that. What if you came to the United States without inspection? Can you file for VAWA? Yes, you can. What if you came to the United States several times? There was a re-entry. Can you file for VAWA? For VAWA, yes, you can. But if you will be able to later get a green card will depend on if you can establish connection between your re-entry and abuse. What if you came to the United States on a K-1 visa? If you came to the United States on a K-1 visa and you actually married the spouse who was inviting you on a K-1 visa, and that spouse turned out to be abusive, you will be able to benefit from VAWA and adjust status in the United States, provided, of course, you're otherwise adjustable. So it's extremely important to remember these points. Another important piece of information is that during the VAWA process, based on marriage, you will have to show that the marriage was real. So do not throw away those bills, lease, photos, some other documents and evidence showing that you guys resided together. Sometimes I meet clients who say that they've been through so much, they got so upset, that just trashed everything that reminded them of the abusive spouse. Well, you're going to potentially face a hard time proving that the marriage was real. Another thing that you will have to prove during the VAWA process is that you are a person of good moral character. Usually, it's not an issue. Usually what's going to happen is that you will have to bring a background self-check from the FBI. Don't be alarmed by the word FBI, showing that you don't have criminal convictions, or if you did have, they were absolutely minor. You will be checked against 3 years prior to filing for your VAWA. It means that you will have to show background checks for 3 years before you submit your VAWA case. And sometimes, if during that time you resided overseas, USCIS is going to ask you to present records from that overseas place as well. So these are the basic requirements for VAWA. Now, if you are filing for VAWA and you divorced your abusive spouse, but now you met someone wonderful and you would like to remarry, can you do that? Yes, you can, but not before your VAWA self-petition is approved. Remember that. You can live with someone else, but you cannot marry them before I-360 is approved, not to lose your VAWA benefits. If you're filing for VAWA and you have children, do you also have to submit separate petitions, I-360 forms for those children? No, you don't have to. Your children are going to be covered by the same I-360 petition. And children, we're talking about children who are under 21 at the time of your submission. Extremely important to remember that. Finally, here I also wanted to talk a little bit about motions to reopen in connection with VAWA. Do you know that typically you're going to have 1 year to file motion to reopen of your removal proceedings if you are a VAWA applicant? 1 year. Interestingly enough, and contrary to what you may think or you can find online, I-360 form does not have to be approved when you're filing a motion to reopen. It's extremely important to know that. Why? Because approval times for I-360 form may be very lengthy, may take well over 1 year to get that I-360 approval. So you don't have to wait for the approval to file a motion to reopen. Well, I hope this information on VAWA was helpful. I usually try to focus on certain issues that are going a little bit more in depth rather than something that you may see on the surface when you're researching your VAWA eligibility. So thank you very much for watching. Please like and share this video if you find this helpful. Follow me on social media, YouTube and Facebook, and I hope to see you soon.